This is exactly how much it's going to cost you to sell your house in San Antonio, Texas. And this is being filmed as of January 2025, so all of this information is going to be relevant. One of the first fees is your real estate professional. How much are they going to charge you to sell your house? And this is typically the biggest fee that's associated with selling your property. And on average, this fee can be anywhere from about 5% to 6% of the purchase price of your property. So hypothetically speaking, if your house is going to be selling for $200,000, all you would have to do is do the math of 5 to 6% of that $200,000, and that's ultimately what you would be paying your real estate professional. However, you do need to understand that this fee is always negotiable. It's not a fixed price. I've seen anywhere from 1%, 2%, 3%. It is always negotiable, but on average here in San Antonio, it is going to range anywhere from 5% to 6%. How that fee is ultimately calculated and where that money goes is it's usually split between two brokers. So your real estate professional is hired by a broker, and the real estate professional that will be selling your property, 3% would ultimately go to their broker, and the other 3% would go to the other realtor's broker that brought you a buyer to your house. The other fees that we do need to account for is the title company policy. And ultimately what this is it gives the buyer a title policy to take over your new home as the new homeowner. And this fee is typically about $2,000. However, not to toot my own horn, but if you do have a real estate professional like me on your team, I'm going to negotiate that the buyer pays their title policy, so that saves you an additional $2,000. You'll also have another expense called your survey. I please pray and I please hope that you have this document on hand, because if you don't, this is going to cost you about $800. However, like I mentioned, if you have a real estate professional that is truly taking care of you, truly negotiating for you, they will have this fee covered and waived and make the buyer pay for this new fee. And if you're not sure what your survey is, you definitely received one whenever you signed all of your documents to take over and take the title to that home. So once again, you should have this survey. It should be in that big packet that the title company gave you after you signed all of your documents. It should be somewhere in there. So please find it. That right there will save you an additional $800 on the sale of your house. Let's talk about closing costs. This is going to be an additional $7,000 to $10,000. And all that this means is that you're pretty much paying the buyer's closing costs. So whenever a buyer goes to finance their home, they also have to pay their lender that's originating their loan. And you also have to, pay the title company if, the closing cost isn't being covered by the buyer. You're going to have to come out of pocket an additional $7,500 to an additional $12,000. And I want you to understand that right now in this market, as of January 2025, interest rates are hovering around 7%, and they're the highest that they've been in the last 10 to 15 years. And what this is doing is it's spooking a lot of home buyers out of the market, and it's putting them on the sideline. And now what those buyers are doing is they're ultimately waiting for interest rates to start to come down again. So what this means for you is that you're going to have to be a little bit more strategic in your approach to actually get more buyers to come and shop for your house. And right now, with there being so many home buyers out of the market, that's only leaving a few buyers in the market that still need a home. And what they are doing is they have a great real estate professional on their side. Is that real estate professional is going to tell them the state of the market and what they can ask from a seller during their home shopping. And that's more than likely going to be for you, the seller, to cover their closing costs. And right now, what we're seeing in this market is a huge percentage of new home buyers asking for all of their closing costs to be covered. So please keep this in mind. On average right now, you are going to have to pay out at least $7,000 to about $10,000 towards the buyer's closing cost, because let's not forget that you're also in competition with new construction. Right now, we're seeing a lot of buyers start to navigate towards new construction because these home builders are buying down interest rates as low as 4.25%. And right now, interest rates are sitting around 7%. So it's like a no-brainer. And on top of that, these home builders are also paying all of their closing costs. They're paying for their survey. They're paying for their title policy. So most home buyers right now are coming out of pocket little to no money on the new purchase of their home, especially going new construction. So you have to go ahead and factor that in, about $7,000 to $10,000. I am a real estate professional. We can go ahead and talk about how we can eliminate this cost and have the buyer pay their own closing costs. So make sure you schedule a one-on-one phone call, link in the description, and we can go ahead and assess your situation and how we can maximize your savings on the sale of your house. So please remember, at the end of the day, all these numbers are just variables. Everyone's situation is different. Like I mentioned, it's all about who represents you, what real estate professional is guiding you and ultimately educating you, but most importantly, negotiating on your behalf to minimize your cost on the sale of your home. I do want to go ahead and assure you guys that it also comes down to how you price your home. And that's what we go over on our one-on-one phone call. And then also, number two is your marketing. How is your property being marketed? Most realtors, they'll put a for sale sign, put your home on Zillow and Realtor.com and solely rely on those platforms to bring you buyers. And at the end of the day, if I was a home seller, I'd question myself and ask my real estate professional, what am I really paying you for? Are you keeping more money in my pocket? Are you getting me multiple offers on my home? And at the end of the day, are you making this a seamless transition? Because like I mentioned earlier, we are currently in a buyer's market. There are fewer buyers shopping for homes right now. However, at the end of the day, you can still make the most amount of money on the sale of your house if you have the right guidance and the right professionals on your team. So for more valuable real estate content on how to sell your house in San Antonio, make sure to give us a subscribe, make sure to give us a like. But most importantly, if you want a one-on-one assessment of your house, what you'll walk away with, the net proceeds, feel free to schedule a one-on-one phone call. Link is in the description, and we'll see you guys on the next video.